Listen, we're here. A little bit late, yeah, I was chatting in Discord there, got a little bit derailed, guys, but we're here now. We are here, we have made it. And damn, does it feel good. We love to see it. All right. Welcome, everyone. It's going to be a little bit of a late night news roundup, guys. That's what it's going to be. We have this post. We have Twitch drops as well. Very exciting. Very exciting. Oh yeah, new job application for ArenaNet. I mean, that's not really news, but senior tools engineer. Honestly, this kind of thing is pretty base though, right? Because I think one of the things that Guild Wars 2 does struggle a little bit with is indeed that the tools they have to build the game aren't great. Wait, recruitment scam warning. Read more. It has come to our attention that unaffiliated third parties may be posing as ArenaNet recruiters and posting fake ArenaNet job opportunities on online job boards. These postings appear to be phishing scams designed to trick would-be applicants into providing their personal information. Wait, what? We urge job hunters to take the following steps to protect themselves against recruiting scams. Confirm legitimacy of job postings by cross-referencing these on our official page. Before responding, verify that the sender's email is okay. What the hell? That's crazy, actually. Wow. And that's not good. You honestly hate to see that. Yeah, senior tools engineer for an unannounced project. Very, very, very exciting. We absolutely love to see that. What's going on? Didn't start before midnight, streak over? No, I started the stream 33 minutes ago, which was 7 minutes before midnight. So it started before midnight. We made it, guys. We made it. I think this is all of the news, though, right? Homestead decoration limit. Commander's choice chest. What is this? You can trade Hero's Choice chests and Karma to the respective exchange vendors in Dragonstand, either North, Arborstone. You'll then receive the guaranteed item in addition to the new Commander's Choice chest, which allows the bulk collection of your choice, bulk selection of your choice of items. So wait, what is this then? Are they basically just making it so you don't have to sacrifice the default choice, or what? Are they just giving it to you now? Easy to mass open them? Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that it's just like you don't have to... You trade Karma? Oh yeah, you trade Karma. And then you can just pick whatever you want. Okay. Okay. 7 a week. 150. Yeah, this is kind of nice, actually. A new crafting recipe called peer-reviewed research. No requirement, even novices can make it. That's pretty nice, actually. Oh yeah, Essence being a wallet currency is also really nice. Rift Essence is like incredibly annoying, I think, to keep a hold of. Gobblers become so plentiful, they themselves clog up inventory space. The Wizard's Gobbler is our solution. Access multiple exchange items, having to fumble with them individually. A collection will track over 20 portable exchanges and Gobbler items. Retroactively update your progress if you have the item in your inventory. Honestly, I might end up using that. This will determine which options you can access when using the Wizard's Gobbler. All Guild Wars 2 players can access the Wizard's Gobbler by heading to Hooligan's Route in Lion's Arch. Yeah, that's kind of nice, actually. Yeah, I also used... Yeah, I also used, like, characters just to store the essence when I was going for legendaries and stuff. This tip will work much like Living World Season, giving you a list of available... Yeah, the funny thing is that, it looks like it's going to be text-based, which I guess is okay. Would have been nice if it had a custom UI. So it's gonna go like, you know, season 3, season 4. You'll click season 3, then it will list the maps So it's going to be like you know, multiple, like a text thing. I'm gobbling. Yeah, you're gobbling. You better be. Whoa. Okay. Portal Tome Tome and Gobbler Gobbler is huge. I mean, it is definitely pretty nice. Dude, look, guys, am I crazy on this? It feels really weird to me that everyone is like so hyped up about quality of life changes. Am I cooked on this? Like, because everyone's like going crazy about this. It's like, bro, like these are some like, I guess, some nice little changes. Nice little changes. Love to see it. But yeah, it is going to be nice. All these tomes will be compressed. You love to see it. Tib Strike. What's the prime? Smiley face with the nose indeed. Smiley face with the nose. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have way more shared inventory slots. I can probably put the Gobbler in there. Because I don't really use the Gobblers, and mostly it's because I just don't have them all in my shared inventory. Maybe I'll use the Gobblers. Yeah, you're pretty hyped, dude. Zlint's hyped up. Zlint is back. Zlint is back in Guild Wars 2. He's maining Guild Wars 2, actually. He's literally maining it. He's full fucking maining it. And honestly, I love to see it. There is not a tutorial for PvP. I mean, look, you got to figure it out yourself. I mean, look, we have Push. Push is going to be the tutorial for PvP. Misha, 14-1. Rank 1 Legend, 21-0. Man, I really want to... Dude, Lynn made an incredibly fucking good meme, but it's like a little bit too hot. I can't drop it. Like, it's like a little bit too much. It's so fucking good, though. Holy shit. Going on. Oh, Blebboing. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. DVX Nova, dude. Look, we're getting drop suite going ahead of time, I guess. Bombing some primes here, guys. Love to see it. Give it to me and I'll drop it. Okay, dude, I'm actually gonna do it. I'm linking it to Lynn. Hold on. I have to actually download it. Okay, we're back. I'm actually not sure if Zlint has the full context for that. Yeah, I'm not sure he has the full context, but yeah, it's it is there. You know, he has access to it. He does now. He has it. Enjoy. Ah, Nani is here. Drop on the server dead. The thing is, I don't think they know. So I don't think. Look, it's PvP related. So like, I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to appreciate it. Dude, wait. I have to help these guys kill Bob. Wait, we have 7 minutes. We need to pump. Okay, here we go. Okay, what have we got? Have we got this mech here? Got a scrapper? Dude, people are playing the good classes, man. Look at that. Scrapper and Reaper. We absolutely love to see that. Dude, Barvell is juiced. All right, this is going to be a short stream though, guys. Like, after we kill Barb Vale, I'm going to read the news and I'm going to piss off. I actually stayed up way too late last night. I kind of need to... Like, my sleep was actually going really well. I was basically up at a normal time, and that was really good for exercise. But I stayed up last night because I was pretty stressed out, actually. I was doing some kind of cooking for the WoW Guild. I feel a lot of responsibility to make it go well, right? So I was like, I couldn't really sleep properly. I was like super stressed. So I basically stayed up, scheming and cooking, pretty much, is what I did. But I stayed up way too late and kind of fucked up my schedule a little bit. So we're doing a short stream, and then I'm going to force myself to go to bed. Mental deplete. It was indeed mental deplete. Did heal Tempest next patch? It's going to be so hype, guys. Holy shit. It's actually time to log in. Feels Bidooz, man. Wait, do you guys know that Bidooz is back? He actually says he's reformed as well. Which is a very interesting statement. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Bidooz is reformed? He could be. I mean, like, I'm not saying that he's not. You're actually going to heal so much, though. Like every aura you share is going to be AoE alacrity and AoE healing as well. Oh, I didn't actually give myself a relic here. I'm still pretty sure I don't even have a relic. Which is kind of I will admit, guys, it's a little bit noob stink. I'm not going to pretend it's not. We only have 5 minutes. We need to... I get a move on here. I think my arc DPS settings reset, by the way. I don't know why. Did something change with the arc, guys? I think I must have, like, fucked with my Guild Wars 2 install or something. Any healing aura gives for Aegis and stability. Yeah, I think it would be nice, and maybe we should probably post this as feedback. Like, if you care about this, you should 100% post this. By the way, I'm serious, because like the devs do read this stuff. Like, I think they should give an extra stack of stability. Extra stack of stability should be given to Eye of the Storm in PvE only. I think that would be a really nice change. I'd like to see that. Or to be honest, giving it ammo would be big. Like, giving Eye of the Storm ammo in PvE only would be huge. Retry gaming. Thanks to the Prime. Really appreciate that, my friend. Also, shout out to YouTube, by the way, guys. Oh, Nexus changed? Okay, yeah, that's probably what's going on then. I want to go and say thanks. Hey, you're welcome. Glad you enjoyed. Longer cooldown on water aura transmute. Oh wait, did they change that in PvE as well, or in World vs. World? Yeah, in World vs. World, they basically like destroyed that build, didn't they? Like, they were like, listen, you guys are gonna play Earth and you're gonna enjoy it. I do think that like aura spam is like relatively unhealthy for World vs. World though. It's just like very, very cancer, I think. So I'm not that upset about that. Oh, I do have a relic on, actually. It's just that nobody was taking any damage, so like I wasn't seeing the green numbers from the Caracosa relic pop up. Will you cook the next Forbidden one, Sally Spectre? I think there's actually some potential that the Forbidden one is still good. Like maybe even with it, like if the Chillblains heal is a lot, you honestly might be able to play the Forbidden one just with, you know, and not change the build at all, because if it heals a lot, it might still be okay. You'll still be able to dodge roll too, and heal people with your dodge rolls, and you'll also give vigor with that, vigor and regen, and a little bit of healing with the Mark of Blood procs. If you could also maybe even package in staff on that build, like staff, pistol torch, for example, or pistol warhorn. Even you probably want to play torch, like pistol torch staff. I think the Forbidden one might actually like have some. It's definitely going to be nerfed though. Like losing the pulsing heal is definitely a big blow, and also the revive pulse is definitely like a significant weakness. I think there might be some interesting builds, like Forbidden ones, like Celestial Vindicator could now be really interesting. I think giving alacrity and healing and barrier and doing condition damage. So you could play. I don't know what you'd play, actually. I would imagine Spear is involved in Celestial Vindicator. Like Spear and then Shortbow, maybe? Or something like that. Or maybe even something like Spear, Mace, Shield. So you have the shield to heal people with a little bit too. Could be a pretty cool build, I think. And you give Alacrity with that setup. Could be interesting. I wonder if you... And do you give Might on that build? On Celestial Vindicator? I'm not sure if you really... I mean, maybe you do. Because you do need a way to give Might on something like that. Like, a really good Forbidden one style build is something that gives 25 Might and then either Quickness or Alacrity. Yeah, I guess you could, like, blast the Firefield to give Might. And then you'd still have the offhand. It's like, wait, does Heal Vindicator... What does Heal Vindicator actually do? Does it give boons? Okay, so let's actually whip out Guild Wars 2 skills. Do you actually give boons? They want you to take this trait, don't you? And it wants you to take that trait, because that trait gives Alacrity now. Actually... I don't know, actually. This build is a bit... Huh. Doesn't really give Might, does it? Is there some weird thing? Wait, what does Salvation do? He doesn't really have any Might application. Although, maybe... wait, does Alliance Stance give Might? Huh. Yeah, I guess that is a problem. Did they give something that makes it give Might, actually? Maybe they changed this trait or something, so it does boons. At greater, yeah, maybe you take this. Profession ability, Might. 10 seconds. Only 3 stacks. Oh, yeah, Scepter main hand. Does Scepter main hand give Might? Draw out boon style eyes. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, yeah. Scepter main hand. Then this is a bit weird on a Celestial build, though, isn't it? Yeah. Nice barrier, though. Maybe this build isn't quite as... Oh, you might on dodge. Oh, but that's if you take the boon one, though. Like this one. And this one, this one was cool. This one was actually really cool when it gave boon extension, but it doesn't do that anymore. This is what you'd play. Or, something like this, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're going to struggle a little bit with Might output, but I guess you just have, like, the other class do that instead. Is Janthe World Story over? How many hours will it take to complete it if I buy today? I'd say, well, it's not out. It's not finished yet. It's finished next patch, so basically next week. I'd say Janthe Wilds would take, I want to say, like 7 hours to play through. I want to say around 7 hours, like 6 to 7 hours. Maybe a little bit less than that. Like, yeah, like 6 hours. It's not short, but it's not long either. Won't take you that long to kind of catch up, as it were. But yeah, I mean, because it gives alacrity, you just pair it with a quickness DPS that gives might, and then I think it's fine. Then it's fine. I guess this build kind of struggles with protection as well, doesn't it? It doesn't really have a lot of pro or might. But I guess the boon application in general here is not... It's not amazing, is it, guys? Let's be honest here. Well, I guess Scepter gives good. Scepter gives might. You have to ally target people with this. You ally target people and auto attack, I guess it's fine. For might, it's a bit clumsy, but it's fine. Where do you get protection from, though? I think your protection uptime is a bit scuffed with this. Yeah, maybe you could... Is there a relic you could use? Could you do Midnight King? You don't really have a lot of CC, do you? Relic of Altruism. 10 Might and Fury. It's basically a permanent 8 Might, isn't it? If you have 100% boon duration. Man, that seems so scuffed. Well, I guess maybe there are a couple of holes in this build. Also, Awesomeness is here. He's logged in. He's logged in. He's ready to go. He's ready to juice up. The new Might Relic. Yeah, I think that only applies to Might on yourself, though. Hey, wait, what is this? Garbeline Gumbo. The Prime. We're getting a lot of... Guys, I love streaming at midnight. This is great. We're absolutely loving it. We're loving it right now, guys. We really are. And Fuzz, that's true. That's true, Edgy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, fouling strength. That's content. Yeah, so maybe maybe the Heal Vindicator is a bit overhyped. I think it will have pretty spectacular healing output, though. Like, the amount of healing you do with Saint of Suhaltzer is pretty nutty. And the amount of barrier as well. It's very strong. Let's see, what is it in PvE? Like, if we go to slap on full minstrel, what does it actually look like? I think it's quite a lot. Boom. Healing food. There we go. Get some monk relics on, maybe, or monk rune. Yeah, I think it does hit. It does. It's a pretty big number. Yeah, each dodge roll in PvE is going to be 1.7k barrier and 2k healing, but obviously you have a bunch of healing modifiers on top of that. So it's going to heal a lot. It will have a lot of healing and barrier. And you get a good chunk of barrier here, right? Like 900 barrier from this. This is like 2k barrier as well. You're going to actually sustain a good chunk of barrier on everyone with this. And obviously, yeah, like Ventari heals a shit ton. Like 7k heal on Natural Harmony. That's crazy. That's insane, guys. Incredible. Heal like Vindy, PvE only? Yeah, it's PvE only. It will obviously completely ruin every other game mode, so they're not going to... they're not going to do that. That would not be the way to go. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Like, right now, when I see this, guys, it's, maybe feeling a little bit, maybe feeling a little bit overhyped, guys. Gonna be honest. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. Zinuazo, tier 1, B-pot. Oh, I did, look. What is it with today? We're getting a bunch of subs. Guys, subscribe now. Buy the game using my referral link. I am liking where we're going with this. Everyone's getting ready for the Twitch drops. I respect that. Like, everyone's, like, mentally preparing to embrace Twitch drops. I like that.
Time's up. Spears down. Everyone back here.
Heal Blade Swan will be the meta, dude. Heal Blade Swan is absolute rat mess.
Take note, Cubs. With practice, you'll perform with the poise of our friend one day.
Colony Mirage is facing its biennial existential crisis. Look, honestly, you know what I hope? I hope that, like, Staff Mirage becomes top DPS somehow, and Axe is, like, unplayable. But do you know why I hope that? Because that was the Emperor's will, okay? And I hope that the Emperor's will manifests into reality. That is all I want, guys. That is all I want to see. It must be. And also, I mean, look, mech is very good right now. Like, Condi mech is very good. So, if you think about it, we're halfway there. We're halfway there, guys. Anyone having issues connecting to the game? It seems to be okay now, but there have been a couple of issues over the last couple of weeks. So, they may, you know, you may be experiencing some of those. Dude, imagine if Solo was back. Can you guys imagine if they dropped Guild Wars 3 and and you know, like the Poncho guy? What if he's back and Solo's back? Oh man, that would be insane. That would be a crazy reveal. That would be one of the biggest reveals ever. That would be a bigger reveal than Guild Wars 3. I think that. The good timeline, like you'd want that, like Nanny would want that. I mean, it would be a crazy plot twist, yeah. Some new rumor. Well, we were mostly just memeing, but I mean, yeah, Guild Wars 3 is, it's probably happening. Solo's still better than whoever he replaced. I mean, that is true because they just didn't really do any balancing before that, really. Guild Wars 2 drop rewards? Well, nowhere, because they don't exist yet. That'll be next week. I have not talked about it. In fact, that's why I went live today, because I'm going to read this post to you, in case you're illiterate. I really care about... Look, we play Guild Wars 2, so obviously most of the player base can't read, and that's why I'm here, to read the post to you. Rework mech. Dude, do you guys remember when mech was good in PvP? That was a dark time, man. Like, when mech dropped, it was actually incredibly oppressive because of how ridiculously overpowered Crisis Zone was. That was brutal. That was, I think, one of the worst things I've ever seen. You hate to see that. And mech was just dominating. It was just dominating PvP. Just as Solar intended. Noob Slayer build? Well, I mean, it was played at top level as well, actually, but yeah, now it's mostly a noob killer build. People who don't know how to deal with the mech. Mech was the best DPS at 36k. It's actually wild how much power creep there's been since EOD, right? Like, back then, 36k DPS was good. Now, 36k DPS is good if you're a Q DPS, right? Like, that's how much things have moved on. And if your build does less than 40k, it's actually quite bad. It's actually really weird. It's actually so interesting. It was actually really interesting. Because isn't that wild, guys? If your DPS build doesn't do 40k DPS, it's actually quite bad. That's wild. Take us back to HOT, where doing 30k was really good. Like, back then, guys, 30k DPS was a good build. And now it's like, if you can't do 40k, you're trash. Like, your build is awful. That's insane. I can't do 40k on WoW. Well, actually, let's check the logs. How much DPS did Mice Guna achieve? Wait, where are the logs, actually? I think Nico's got them. Wait, what the hell is this? Oh, this is not all of the logs. Oh, wait, no, actually, here we go. How much DPS did Mice do? Mice Guna. Well, you did do 153k DPS. So, you have got that going for you. You did pass 0, though. You look like a buyer. Oh, that's funny. What is this log? Hey, look, you paused Gray, Saraxa. You have an 11. 11 pause. It is what it is, my friend. It is what it is. This rat was carrying. Wait, hold on. Why did you not do this DPS? Why did look at this rat. This rat did 2.9 million DPS, and you did 1.5 million DPS. This rat had the same eye level as you, one more eye level than you, and did double your DPS. Explain that. What's up with that? Yeah. That's insane. Exponential levels game. I mean, maybe, yeah. Maybe that is going to be the case. Yeah. Oh, man, that's funny. I mean, Guru paused 26. He escaped the gray pause. I mean, yeah, this rat was fucking cranking. Final verdict is owning 600k DPS. I was on an M plus build, toy jail. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. He arcane barraged. Look at that arcane barrage. Beautiful. Where's Spin, actually? How much DPS did Spin do? Dude, 6 million burst opener. Incredible. Spin with the 89 eye level pass. 2.3 million DPS. Spin also did well. Well played the Spin. I like that. Guru, you know, he knows that he needs to support the team. You know, like he's ready to support the team. Millions of DPS, dude. Like this is nothing. Like in wait, how much DPS were people doing in Legion? Wasn't it completely absurd? In Legion. I think it was pretty high. Oh, actually, no. It was actually about the same as now. But I mean, that's how it is. 20 minutes to Guild Wars 2. Listen, okay, I got derailed because Mike was talking about DPS. But we're back. That squish. Honestly, I like it. I don't. I actually think that dude, listen. The numbers that core Guild Wars 2 had was so fucking good, right? I think the two MMOs that have the best numbers is core Guild Wars 2 and classic WoW, specifically vanilla, maybe TBC. I think once you get to Wrath, the numbers are too big. You're doing like 10k DPS. That's actually too much. I think that having numbers not really go that much above 5 figures is the way to go. Classic WoW, like getting like a 2k crit, that's a big deal, right? Anything, you know, you don't really get that much more than that. I think that's how it should be. Yeah, including core Condi. Yeah, I think that like 15k DPS is a pretty good number. That is a good number. That's what core, you know, kind of core Guild Wars 2 is like. That's solid. When you start getting to like 50k DPS, 100k DPS, or even like a million DPS in World of Warcraft, oh man, I don't like it. I think it's way too big. It's too much. Like the numbers in WoW, I don't. They like completely pass me by. They don't mean anything. They're way too high. I can't break 30k. Well, I mean, you practice, you'll be able to. Boom, easy. Easy game, easy life, my friend. A number crunch? Yeah, we do need a number crunch. Gotta happen. Squish vegan is dog shit. That is correct, actually. He's rank 1, but he should be rank 0. Doesn't go over like 15. I actually think, you know, the funny thing is, I do actually have a little bit of, I do kind of like that too. For example, I have personally actually been really enjoying the numbers in Guild Wars 1. Like they're not, some would say maybe those are a little bit too low. But actually, I do enjoy the numbers in Guild Wars 1. They typically, you know, going over 100 is relatively uncommon. Like, if you hit someone for a 100 in Guild Wars 1, that's like a massive hit. That's like a big chunk if you like slam a 100. And you know, you have a lot of little damage packets, like lots of little AoEs that you can do, but the numbers don't go too high. And I actually really like that too. I do like the numbers in Guild Wars 1. And yeah, of course, in OSRS, right, like the numbers are also relatively low there. Like, you know, when you're, you know, leveling a character in OSRS and you hit your first 10, it's like, oh shit, I just chunked that mob, right? Or like chunked that player. If, you know, you've just started to get some good gear, get your strength up or get your magic up or your ranged up or whatever, and you get like a massive hit, you connect a 10 on Thea, and you hit those double digits. I think that's really exciting when that happens too. It's, you know, it definitely feels good when you have like a lower number. Pretty cool. Is RuneScape big? Yeah, I think OSRS is probably the 3rd most popular MMO currently right now. If I had to guess, if I was going to make a list of MMOs, I'd say the most popular is WoW, followed by Final Fantasy XIV, and then RuneScape is 3rd. Although honestly, I could there's a universe where I could imagine RuneScape even potentially being I think Final Fantasy is bigger than RuneScape right now. But honestly, like RuneScape it is kind of popping off, to be fair. They're doing really well over there. So I think it's very popular. But yeah, I would I'd say that would be like I'd say it's a top 3 MMO in terms of popularity and, like, you know, in terms of player count. 100%. So I think it's doing extremely well, and, you know, also, I think what's cool about OSR is it has a really healthy and vibrant community. Maybe the most healthy and vibrant community, actually, out of any MMO. They do an extremely good job with community management and communication. And there's just fantastic content, right? There's, like, fantastic content over there from, like, streamers and YouTubers and so on. It's a really, really healthy, really wholesome community, which is super cool to see, actually. It's very healthy. So that, I think, also kind of makes it punch above its weight even more than it already does. You know, for being obviously like a super old school and to be frank, like, you know, very, like, you know, it is a unique experience that it has to offer you, right? It's very different compared to a lot of the other offerings. Yeah. Yup. All the best MMOs I can think of are more like single-player RPGs with shared overworlds. That's kind of what people like. That's the thing. That's what people like. It's the whole playing alone together thing. It's like people like being bystanders in the world. That's why people really like Guild Wars 2, despite the fact that you don't really interact with people when you play the game. Like, am I interacting with these players right now in a meaningful way? Absolutely not. These could be bots, and it wouldn't make any difference to me gameplay-wise, right? Because I'm not really interacting with them, right? But people like that. People really enjoy it, yeah. You think Guild Wars is less than ORS? Oh, I'd say so for sure, yeah. I think old school RuneScape is, like, really popular.
Oof. Watch it now. There's a stir in the water, and I don't trust it.
OSRS has 129,000 people playing now. Like, I definitely think that Guild Wars 2 has a lot when there's a patch, for example, obviously on expansion release. But does Guild Wars 2 have 130k people logged in now at 1 a.m.? Absolutely not. No way. Absolutely no way. 30% bots. Yeah, okay, let's knock 30k off that. And let's just say that's 90,000, right? Like 30% of that. You know, 90k or 95k or whatever. Yeah, for sure. There's not 95,000 people logged into Guild Wars 2 right now. No way. Dedgar? No. Wait, dude, 100k is a big number. Like, that is a very large number. I don't think we realize this. This is not 100,000 active players. This is 100,000 concurrent users. Like, if Guild Wars 2 has got 20k people on right now, that's a lot. That's a very high number, guys. Right? That's not a dead game. Okay? No way. Right? That is a lot of people logged in to play the game. There's no disrespect having 20,000 concurrents. Right? Yeah, exactly what Wowz is saying. Like, you know, if you've got like 10,000 people concurrently logged into your game, that is a lot. That is a high number. So old school RuneScape is a colossal game, guys, for an MMO. 100,000 people logged in. Again, like, it seemed like 30k of those are bots, maybe even a little bit more. That is a lot. I think you'll see some really high numbers in World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy, especially around, you know, expansion times. Like, WoW is definitely probably in... Like, they probably have over 1 million concurrents when there's, like, a patch dropping, for example. Maybe even a couple of million. But bear in mind, like, WoW is a big exception. Like, WoW and Final Fantasy, I think, are a fair bit out ahead. You know, a fair bit out ahead in terms of population. Compared to a lot of the other MMOs. Oh, no, they don't know. SO based on logs? Yeah. I think, you know, I think Wrath of the Lich King was insane, though. Someone can fact check me on this, but I believe when they released Wrath Classic, there were more logs in, like, 1 month than, like, the history of Final Fantasy or something, right? And to be fair, it is worth contextualizing that a big part of that was because of China, because Wrath hadn't been released in China before, I believe. And the Chinese are actually really into WoW, by the way. They're, like, super into WoW. There's a really strong Chinese community. It's obviously separate, as a lot of things often are, right? Like, you don't have that level of interplay between the communities, in the same way that Guild Wars 2 has a Chinese server and so on, but we don't necessarily hear about it that much. But you do hear about it a little bit in WoW, and, like, they're super into WoW. There's a really strong Chinese community, and they were, like, going fucking crazy, right? When Wrath of the Lich King came out. Steam stats don't say much. I think they can say something. Like, I think Steam can be relevant. There's definitely some numbers that you can 100%, you know, it's not, obviously, you know, most people don't play Guild Wars 2 on Steam, but, you know, it's like an interesting number to have a look at. They had around Wrathcat. I think in Wrath they had 13 million active subscribers. Although, weirdly enough, that number is, like, surprisingly sustained pretty well. Like, you know, if you can kind of believe a graph that Blizzard put out, they essentially implied that their current subscriber number in Dragonflight was around 7 million, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I actually agree. I think more games should share player numbers. Like, OSRS is insanely based because they share how many people logged into their game. I respect that. And also, I respect them even more for saying, yeah, like 30% of bots. It is what it is, bro. That's actually Giga Chad. That is a Giga Chad studio right there. That is a mega Giga Chad number. Blizzard would never. Well, I mean, they used to, obviously. Like, the thing is, I feel like it'd look good for them. I think there's a lot of people playing the game right now. I don't think it would, like, you know, they wouldn't get exposed or anything. But yeah, I mean, I understand why they don't. Exactly, yeah. When the number starts going down, it's a bit of a PR disaster for sure. No one plays OSRS through Steam. Oh yeah, I mean, well, I think a lot of people use custom clients for OSRS, right? So it's like, you know, they have their own like little setup there. Yeah, 100. Yeah, I think people don't realize like how big 100K is. Like, guys, 100K is a fucking shit ton, right? Like, if you've got 100K concurrence, you're up there with Marvel Rivals, and this is a very big game, right? Like Apex Legends, right? Like PUBG, Rust. These are very big games, guys. Like 100,000 is a very fucking big number to have people logged into your game. Like, even like, you know, this is obviously a really big game. Counter-Strike and Dota 2. Counter-Strike has 800,000 people on Steam. Dota 2 has 317,000. Like, these are colossal games, right? Obviously bigger than MMOs, right? Like, you know, these are bigger than MMOs. Like, this is a crazy big number. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the content, John Carter. You're very welcome. If you have any questions, you can ask, and we'll probably answer them. There was this really interesting piece of data, by the way, about Steam. Really interesting piece of data. Oh, I don't recall exactly how it was, but ArenaNet did release, ArenaNet released how many hours people played in a certain year, okay? Because they did their end of year roundup, basically, and they dropped how many hours were played. And here's the thing, guys. Check this out. Okay? Check this out. Of course, Steam, it shows player hours, right? Like how many hours it played. And basically, Steam, the Steam release, the viewer hours corresponded to a 50% increase in player hours compared to what ArenaNet released to us. So Steam, I think, was actually relatively impactful, at least at the start, to the number of people who were playing the game. Whether that's the case now, and you've got to bear in mind there's some bias there as well, because new players play more, right? So it's not like the player base was increased by 50% through Steam. It was like the amount of hours that were being pumped into the game apparently increased by 50%, if we can kind of trust those numbers. And, you know, it's not the same thing, right? Because, of course, you know, of course, you know, new players play a lot more. A lot of people AFK in OSRS. Yeah, but a lot of people AFK in Guild Wars 2 as well. Like, I'd say 50% of my hours on this account are AFK. I think I've spent, like, no joke, 10,000 hours AFK in the game, just like with the client running. Those numbers are short-lived. Wait, I mean, they're really not, though. Like, I mean, these games are not new games, right? Like, some of these games are kind of, you know, relatively speaking, old. Why was Guild Wars 2 Vanilla so much better? I wouldn't say, I mean, I personally, I think that HOT was the best part in the game's history, but there's a multitude of factors which we don't need to get into. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, some of these games are not new. Yeah, Marvel Rivals is a relatively new game, right? It's like a relatively new game. Content release, up the hype, all around to play. Well, no, the 50% increase was... basically, they gave us, like, the how many hours were played during the year, basically. And then people looked at how many hours people played specifically on Steam, because Steam shares that number, right? Like, Steam shares how many player hours were played. And basically, it was like the monthly hours played, you know, kind of taking the yearly hours, dividing it by 12 to get a month, basically. The first month of Steam was like a 50% increase, right? compared to the average monthly, average monthly hours played of Guild Wars 2 went up significantly when Steam was released. Now, again, bear in mind, right, like that, a big part of that is because new players play a lot, right? Like, new players play a lot. Which expansions I buy first? Honestly, I'd just buy the first one, right? Like, start with HT and Path of Fire. Simple as that. And then just, like, work your way through it when you got the cash. There's no rush, obviously. You can take your time, like, don't stress yourself out with money and so on. And the game does go on sale, so you can wait for that as well. Like, when, the game does go on sale relatively frequently. During the Steam release year, another year? During the Steam release year, yeah. But, I mean, Steam is impactful, right? Obviously, going onto a new marketplace, especially like such a popular marketplace, is going to be a big deal. Baldur's Gate 3 has more people playing than Guild Wars 2? Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say right now, there are probably more people playing Baldur's Gate than Guild Wars 2. But guys, actually, hold on. Hold on a bit here. Guys, like, I'm actually going to defend Guild Wars 2 here, because I think people are being a bit unreasonable. Guys, like, if Guild Wars 2 has got, like, 30k people online, that is a lot, okay? That is a very big number, right? And you've got to bear in mind, dude, Baldur's Gate 3 is a mega game, right? Like, we're aware of this, right? Like, this is a huge, uber mainstream, like, game of the decade, right? Like, absolute insane game, right? One of the best games ever made. And it dropped. And you, like, had a shit ton of people playing, obviously, right? Yeah, and Baldur's Gate 3 is obviously not as old. It came out, I guess, it's like August, like August of 23. So it's not that old. It's like 2 years old. Compared to Guild Wars 2, which is 10 years old. Like, yeah, like 30k is a huge number of concurrent players. Like, dude, most MMOs would be, like, drooling, like, frothing at the mouth, wanting to have, like, 30,000 people logged into their game at the same time. It's, yeah, dude, I don't like talking about these numbers because I feel like people don't have, like, a sense of scale. Am I wrong on this, guys? I feel like people are not having a lot of perspective on this. Like, these are huge numbers. Like, let's assume that Guild Wars 2 has, like, 30k people playing right now. That puts it one rank above waifu. Okay. I mean, look, that's competitive, guys. That's a very competitive genre over here, right? Like, this is it would be like rank 30 on Steam. That's crazy. That's very popular. Yeah. Is that only on Steam? No, that's not only on Steam. The Steam number's like 4k, I think, on average, approximately. Let's see. What rank is Guild Wars 2? Should be actually pretty easy to find. It's probably around 4,000. Oh, I guess I could have just searched. But look, I'm committed. We're gonna find it. Guild Wars 2, rank 237. 3k people online on Steam. Yeah. Listen, okay, guys. I want to move on because I want to read the news so I can go to bed, okay? But seriously, I want to be really clear on this, guys. 30,000 players, if we're kind of guesstimating that Guild Wars 2 has 30,000 people logged on right now, that is an amazing number that anyone should be proud of. Like, I just kind of want to move on from this now. Like, that is a lot of fucking people, right? Nobody should be going like, oh, that's, what, only 30,000, only this, only that. Guys, come on. Like, this is ridiculous. This is insane. It is absurd to, like, be going like, oh, that's not a big number. It's a massive fucking number. Yes. I think the opposite. I mean, bro. Okay, how, Dude, how is that? Dude, look, I'm getting drawn in, guys. Guys, I'm getting derailed. I'm getting derailed, guys. Giving you 30K in money. I mean, dude, look. If you want to donate $30,000 to the stream right now, thank you very much. Yeah. Final Fantasy has 25K. Yeah, on Steam, yeah. But I mean, like, Final Fantasy, I think, has been on Steam, I think, a fair bit more than Guild Wars 2. But also, like, guys, and I really think it's important to not be, like, upset about this or insecure, I guess. Yeah, Final Fantasy is a much bigger game than Guild Wars 2. Right? That's just, like, that's true. It doesn't mean, like, the game's better or worse. It just means, yeah, like, a lot more people play Final Fantasy than Guild Wars 2. Nothing wrong with that, right? Like, and there's still loads of people who play Guild Wars 2. But, yeah, I don't know. 30K is nice. It doesn't change your life. Bro, dude, if you gave me 30,000 right now, I mean, I wouldn't be, like, life-changing, but it would be a little bit. It would be, like, a little bit life-changing. It would make my life a whole lot better, that's for sure.
To your marks. Go.
I feel sad about the game. Wait, why? Why? Okay, wait, dude. Saying I feel sad about the game only having 30K concurrence is like saying, look, let me translate that. It's like, I'm sad that Guild Wars 2 is probably in the top 5 most alive MMOs. It's like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, I think we take those, no? Like, I feel like we take that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Guild Wars 2 is probably top 5, I think. In terms of MMO population. It's definitely up there. Yeah, in the West. Obviously, like, there's some, like, crazy popular, like, Eastern MMOs that don't really see a lot of play in the West. What game would be number 5? I think stuff like ESO and BDO are actually relatively competitive in the market as well. Also, Destiny, if you consider that an MMO. I'm not sure if what the consensus is on that, but like you could consider Destiny to be like an MMO style game. But yeah, like ESO, obviously. BDO as well. I think it's pretty big. Lost Ark as well, actually. Can't forget Lost Ark, guys. Like, I know that it's not really, like, hot news and it didn't really explode, but Lost Ark's an alive game. If we actually look for Lost Ark, how many people are playing Lost Ark right now? Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah, 20,000. That's a pretty big number. Albion. I think, yeah, honestly, Albion is a contender as well, for sure. Albion's definitely a contender. 100%. Is Albion on Steam? Actually, don't know. It is. Yeah, Albion. Yeah, very respectable, actually. 12,000, 24-hour peak. That's a lot. That's actually a lot, especially because this is like definitely more of a niche product with the open world PvP stuff. Yeah. New World is dead. Yeah, New World is pretty dead, unfortunately. Real shame. What's New World at? Hey, dude, look, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, 7.5K peak, it's definitely a very expensive 7.5K players. Like, you know, for the amount of money and, you know, dev hours they put into this, it should be a lot more, obviously. But, I mean, look, it ain't bad, but it's bad for what, you know, how much money they spent on it, obviously. It's also a game that's got issues, right? It's a game that's got big fucking problems. Yeah. Lost Ark is bloated by bots. Oh, yeah. To be fair, I think a lot of these games probably are. They're like bots are all over the place. But yeah, I don't know much about Lost Ark. If there's like a big botting problem, then it could definitely be inflated. All-time peak was 913. Dude, because people thought that this was going to be the game to actually bring MMOs back. And you know what? For what it's worth, by the way, I actually think that New World was the game that, in a weird way, came the closest. Like, if you want to hear me actually talk about this for a very long time, actually, you should watch this video. I stand by everything I said in this video, by the way. I did a full 1 hour and 22-minute giga video essay, full breakdown of everything I liked about the game and everything I didn't like about the game. And man, New World could have been it. I am deadly serious, guys. They fumbled really hard, no question about that, but it was so close to brilliance, it's physically painful. Like, seriously. I love this game. Like, I put over 1,000 hours into the alphas and betas. Overall, I loved it. I absolutely fucking love this game. I was so excited to play this when it dropped. I genuinely thought it was going to be potentially the next actually good game for me to play. I was so excited. But unfortunately, it didn't really connect, and it's to be frank, it was quite bad when the game released. It was pretty fucking bad. They've actually fixed it now, but the problem is that ultimately the game is dead. And because the game is... This is like a really big problem with MMOs, in my opinion, is that once you lose momentum, it's over and it's never coming back. Like, you lose that magic. Like, in my... And I think this might not necessarily be... This might not be how everyone feels, but for me, I can't enjoy an online game, or I think any game, unless people have got some passion for it. Like, I admit this, I'm a little bit reliant on the community and people around me. If I'm not playing with people who are passionate and love the game, I actually can't have fun, right? And that's why I can't play New World now. I actually quite like the gameplay. I admit that. I think the content's actually rather good in that game. There's a lot of things that I like about New World. It's fun. I have played it recently, and when I logged in, I had fun. I did. But the game's dead. Nobody cares, no passion, no energy, no hope, no future. So, game over. That's the way it is. Game over, man. Yeah, going vertical prog was a huge error. Man. Oh, they fumbled this. Holy shit, they fumbled this. Leveling was too boring. Well, it's because they did this. I mean, look, if you want to know what went wrong, the TLD, I mean, you can watch this video and I basically describe what they've done wrong. But the TLDR is basically, they did a massive pivot from kind of a open world PvP, open world PvE style game to an instanced PvP, instanced PvE game. So they basically did a double 180. They wanted their PvP to become instanced and their PvE to become instanced. And that just crippled the game because it essentially meant they had zero content and they had to cook up a bunch of content within a year of doing time. And that's just not realistic. It's just not realistic at all. You can't do that. They also fundamentally changed the combat system because they removed stagger, which was another colossal mistake in my opinion. I think it made the combat almost objectively worse when they did that. And they just didn't have enough time. They didn't have enough content. They didn't have enough variety. They had zero endgame on launch. They had zero PvP endgame on launch, zero PvE endgame on launch. The endgame loop sucked. They had no leveling content. They just had fucking nothing. It was just completely game over. They essentially did a 180 on everything I liked about the game. And to be clear, they are the developer. It is their right to do that. It is their right to do that, and I understand why they did it. Like, realistically, the game that they were making that I loved was too niche for their budget, right? Because I don't know how much they put on it, but it would have been... Look, I'm going to be real, guys. It's hundreds of millions. They spent hundreds of millions on this game. They absolutely did. And a game that... This game, it catered to me a lot. And obviously I was excited for that, right? Because this game they were making, it was almost like they delved into my mind and made the perfect game for me, right? And yeah, I am a weird player. I'm aware of that. Obviously, I'm no fool. And a game like that is too niche. There aren't enough me's, right, to essentially to make their money back, right? There was no way they were going to make their money back with me's. There's not enough of me in the in the market, right? Like I'm not a major demographic within the gaming industry. So they did a big pivot to try and make their money back. And the weird thing is they probably did make their money back, to be honest, because they sold so many copies of the game. Like nearly 1 million concurrent is wild. Like every streamer was playing it. Like every YouTuber was talking about it. They probably did make their money back, funnily enough. But unfortunately, the game wasn't sustainable, right? And yeah, the rest is history. The rest is history. Do I think Guild Wars 3? I'm like the two games that I'm most interested in right now is Classic Plus, so Classic World of Warcraft Plus, which is going to be happening almost certainly, and Guild Wars 3. Those two games are the games that I anticipate the most. And to be honest, I'll be real. Guild Wars 3 is my most anticipated. I'd put it above Classic Plus. I think Guild Wars 3 actually has the biggest potential to be the next actually good MMO. Straight, like, boom. Absolutely, yeah. If I had to pick one game that I think is most likely to be the next actually good MMO, it's Guild Wars 3. Because, obviously, Guild Wars 3 hasn't really gone my way, obviously, but I do actually respect ArenaNet as a company a lot. I think they're very capable of making actually good games that do actually bring some new ideas to the table. Hasn't the PB community been, again, actually taken offline? Yeah, there is a hilarious irony to you. You're absolutely right, Garashima. The PvP community are basically the players who are still playing. Ultimately. And I think people do actually, I think there is a bit of a raid community as well, but it is actually the more hardcore PvPers who I think are kind of like the backbone of New World. They never sent my free game. Wait, what the fuck? That's crazy, actually. A free game for Alpha Test. They never sent you a free game. Wow. What the hell? That's crazy. Yeah. I hope Guild Wars 3 is incredibly twitchy, action full combat. That way the skill ceiling is so high every casual player quits immediately. This is like I mean maybe, yeah. Oh, it's funny. I'm surprised that you don't seem to look at private servers, some of them big community and niche vision. Well, I like retail and classic WoW. I don't really feel the need for a private server, to be honest. Yeah, I actually have played private servers before in World of Warcraft, and I'd definitely be interested in maybe giving Turtle WoW a try sometime. It seems really cool. Actually, I have a friend who's playing it, like Frosty's playing it, and I think he's having a really positive experience there. So it's something that I'm not opposed to. But to be honest, I'm just really enjoying, I'm really enjoying retail classic. I don't really feel the need for a private WoW server. And I like Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 1, but I don't need a private server for those. Oh, none of the major ones are hit, but I don't actually recall the names of them. But they were kind of like some of the weird. I played on some like the weird ones with like custom content and stuff. I did play on a TBC Progressive Realm, but I actually don't recall the name of what it was. And then I played on a bunch of like meme servers. I mostly played private servers at the same time as playing as playing retail, right? Not any of the major. I didn't play Nostalrius, for example, or any of those, any of the really major ones. Official servers only. Yeah, I mostly have played on official servers. Yeah. Combat feels really laggy. Some of the issues. I'm sure there are balance issues. There always are, right? Honestly, I actually really like the combat in New World. They've really polished it up a little bit. I think it still should have gone with like the stagger approach, to be honest, because I actually really like that. I liked it quite a lot, but yeah, it's still a little bit rough around the edges. But I actually really like the combat in the game, to be honest. It feels really good in PvE. And in PvP, it feels good as well. I think the only thing that's a little bit frustrating is that there's not enough momentum. I don't think it actually feels clunky at all, in my opinion. I think it feels pretty smooth. The issue for me is that you don't have enough momentum. I think you stop too much. Check DM? Yeah. Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck is it? Wait, what? Wait, what is this? What is this meme? What? What? Oh no. Well, I mean, that will be interesting to keep track of. GW2 came out. I've graduated high school, a 4-year degree, got married, and been working my job at 7 years. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like how, you know, like, yeah, it's weird to think about like how long we've been playing these games, like how we're very different people to when we started playing them. I definitely feel that a lot. I am like a totally different person to when I started playing video games. Mostly better. In fact, I think almost universally better, actually, in pretty much every single way. I'm a lot better at doing the things that I do, and honestly, like playing the game has helped with that.
I've already started stockpiling honey for Torpor. Nothing beats a spoonful of honey.
I wish Guild Wars 3 had loosened its horizontal progression, but not to the point of oppressive pay to win. Well, I mean, if you're good, you can't do that. I think, well, one, it will be horizontal. They won't do vertical. It's like a big selling point for ArenaNet's MMOs, I think. But if you have the ability to buy gold and you can buy gear in a vertical progression game, it's like, well, I mean, look, it is what it is. Stop saying PMA? Wait, when did I stop saying PMA? It's always about the PMA. Speculate on leaks for the future X-Pack? Wait, have there actually been leaks? Are there actually leaks? Honestly, I feel like we could do with some goddamn leaks about now, to be fair, actually. Dude, look. Nothing made... you know, the Path of Fire leaks were actually so hype for that X-Pack that I wondered to this day if ArenaNet did them. Like, if ArenaNet leaked the POF. Because it made people go berserk. And I wonder if it was actually intentional. Right, I wonder if it was like, if they did it. A PSYOP, yes, an actual PSYOP. Concocted by ArenaNet. Honestly, Kidda, I don't think we have to wait. We probably won't have to wait much longer, actually, so I don't think we need to worry about it. Because I think we'll be hearing about the stuff for the next expansion very, very soon. Obviously, they're dropping the final patch. They're dropping the final patch next week. I actually imagine that... Well, we actually know, right? It's in July, right? They're announcing the expansion in July, so... I think we can just like wait for... we can just wait for July, right? That's when they're going to be dropping the hammer on whatever they've cooked for the next expansion. Drop a trail this year, didn't talk about the game for 8 years. Well, I mean, look, I'll tell you something fun. This is a point that was brought up in the last stream. Guys, the next studio update is fucking spicy. Because let me tell you this. If ArenaNet don't mention the next expansion, so in other words, X-Pack 7, in the next studio update, that means the next X-Pack is Guild Wars 3. Okay? Like, just bear that in mind. That, dude, the next studio update is gonna be a big one. Yeah? Because if they don't confirm that X-Pack 7 is coming, that's what that means. Right? That means they're dropping the nuke. Instead of another expansion. My friends quit the game and said he will not come back to give Ranger a rifle. Well, I mean... Okay, I guess. Yours are over release this year? Well, no, of course they don't. No, well, I think you misunderstood. When I said next expansion, okay, I meant X-Pack 7. The next X-Pack is X-Pack 6. Right? So what I'm saying is that when they release the expansion, do a studio update, if they don't confirm X-Pac 7, so the one after this one coming up in October, that is very interesting, I think. Incredible. Would it be better marketed had the teaser trailer something like Summer Game Fest? Yeah, who knows, right? Like, we'll see. I do really want to see. Look, guys, I do really want to see. I hope there's a community manager for Guild Wars 3, guys. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I want to see a community manager. I hope the marketing department is based as well. Okay, look, guys, I know this seems like a really minor detail, but I talked about this yesterday. But, okay, it was such a mistake to show that backpack in EOD, right? Oh my god, that was such a major error. Because it actually ended up getting a fair bit of negativity, in my opinion, for absolutely no reason. Like, if they just showed it on the new map, that just would not have happened. Right? Like, yeah, it looks a bit void-like 100%, and you can definitely criticize it and say it would have been, you know, I would have preferred it if it had been, like, bear-themed or whatever, right? It had, like, a runic element to it. Okay, fine, right? But it got a bunch of negativity for no reason because I showed it in EOD. Because I actually really like the skin, to be honest. It's, you know, I was not really thinking about getting the backpack. I just think it looks pretty damn cool. I think I'm probably going to go ahead and get it. Because I think it's rather good, actually. To be honest with you. I think it looks pretty cool. But yeah, it's like, oh man, like that's such a, it's such a marketing miss, to be honest. That really was not it, to be honest. That really was not it. I don't understand why they did that. Like it doesn't make any sense. Years ago during EOD, it was meant to be a post EOD. I do not, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's how ArenaNet makes content. I don't think so. But this is kind of what I mean, though. I think the reason you think that is because they flubbed this, right? I don't think it was supposed to be a part of EOD, to be honest. I think there's like some similarities for sure, but I don't know. Think Guild will still be Guna bait? Yes. Every MMO is. They know their audience. Vote Zlint, community manager. That, I mean, that would be entertaining, actually, yeah. I believe in this chat multiple times you've talked about, like, squeezing your hog. So it would definitely be funny to see, like, the official Guild Wars 2 blue sky, like, drop something like that out of the blue. Yeah, it's like a demon. Yeah, it's like a demon thing. It's got the 6 eyes and stuff. It's very clearly supposed to be, like, some kind of, like, demonic entity. Yeah, they also should have dyed it a bit so it looked less void-themed. If they dyed it more, that wouldn't have been nearly as much of an issue. So I think it's extremely likely. And I actually agree with you. Like, if you look at the games that have aged pretty well, I think this is very notable with World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2. And Guild Wars 1 as well. And actually RuneScape. Like, notice how the games that have aged, in my opinion, extremely well are games that aren't realistic. They are stylized, right? And these games that have this like very strong stylized aesthetic, they age very well, right, over time. And I think that's why Guild Wars 2 still looks really good today. Guild Wars 1 still looks, in my opinion, fantastic today. And so does old school RuneScape and classic WoW, of course, right, and retail WoW. I think these games have a really strong visual style, and that means that they're able to kind of last, you know, have this kind of like long-lasting visual appeal, I think. Yeah, I think Final Fantasy actually has aged slightly more poorly than the games I mentioned, so I didn't mention it because I do believe it's less stylized, to be honest. And as a result of that, I think it does show its age a little more than the other titles that I kind of brought up there. Yeah. You guys think Guild Wars 2 is bad? Oh, no. We're saying quite the opposite, actually. Is that the Guild Wars 2 aesthetic has, like, worked really well for the game, I think.
My little cubs, who can tell me the story of the claw that led his bear king away from the dragon?
Yeah. Worst combat Guild Wars 2, I'm not going to be happy. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. To be honest, I trust ArenaNet Draza. I think they'll do a good job. We'll obviously have to see like what they come up with, but I'm confident. I do believe that ArenaNet is a competent company. They're a competent studio. It'll be very interesting to see the way they go. Really interesting to see the way they go. In particular, I have a hunch they'll go more action-oriented. That feels like the ArenaNet thing to do. So I think you honestly might really like that, right? I think it will be like more Guild Wars 2-y than Guild Wars 2 is now, even. To be honest, with the way they go. They'll probably want to push the boundaries and really see what they can do with this kind of like, you know, very dynamic, very action style of combat. Intara, I mean, yeah, I think that's actually a really interesting point to bring up there as well, Nike, actually. I think Guild Wars 3 is very likely to have a console release as well. Yeah, I think it's very likely to have a console release. Because, especially if you're on Unreal, right? Like, a lot of these game engines, it's very easy to... Well, I shouldn't say easy, but it's doable, right, to release cross-platform. I think it's like, you know, it's pretty likely they go for a console release as well with the game. Yup. Elementals have one button, it will be Haboob.
Right here,
Oh, man.
tucked away in
Oh.
nature.
Playable Kaka, I mean Tengu, I mean potentially, yeah. Oh. A turn-based furry dating sim. Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, WoW, reunited in one game. Yeah, that would be pretty hype, actually, yeah. I mean, like, the dream is that obviously Guild Wars 3 does really well, so ArenaNet can obviously expand and then, like, release a lot of content. Because obviously, like, right now, the studio is relatively small compared to some of the competition, so, you know, like, if it does really well, they can juice up and go crazy. Use their own engine. I think it's extremely likely to be Unreal, given what we know. Dude, we're going to have to start really milking the Guild Wars 3 content, man. I'm telling you. The Guild Wars 3 content is inbound. You better be ready for that. All right, I better do the news, guys. We have to do the news. Because I want to go to bed. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I actually didn't want to stream that long. Oh. I actually, I did get your... well, speaking of Lone Cap, I have a decent team with Lone Caps, so the P2 players. Yeah, we'll do some posts about Motor pretty soon. Like, I think when the expansion date is announced, I actually might just go ahead and drop the date for Motor as well. I'm thinking of doing it very soon after the expansion. Maybe even like, you know, maybe even like 2 weeks or a month after the expansion. Give teams a little bit of a time to adapt to like whatever happens, and then like go straight into the tournament. And the date will not be changing. But yeah, we'll probably go ahead and announce that when the expansion is released. Same day? But that would be very funny, actually, if it was the same day as expansion. Was Mota a PvP tournament? Run by yours truly. Unfortunately, didn't end up getting delayed because... well, because of the French, okay? France struck, guys. Did you change your mind about migrating to WoW and only return to Guild Wars 2 during events? No, definitely not. Guild Wars 3, that might be another thing entirely. But Guild Wars 2, no. I've got my checklist. I'm doing the checklist, then I'm out. This game just isn't for me anymore, really. it's changed. All right, YouTube, wake up. Shout out to YouTube, guys. They'll drop Guild Wars 3 bridge content before we finish the checklist? Yeah, maybe. Guild Wars sort of millennial writing. I don't even know what millennial writing is. So, I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. Will it be written by millennials? I mean, maybe, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't know what all the barriers are. I don't know what millennial writing. Well, how? I mean, I'm looking it up. Millennial writing. Okay, what exactly is millennial writing? what is this? Well, that just happened. Oh, so it's like Zuma shit or what? Borderlands 3? What? It's slop? It's like Marvel slop? Well, I mean, I hope not then. Because, yeah, a lot of the Marvel movies have just been slop. Wait, what is this "wow, that happened" meme? What is this meme from? Was this in a movie or a game or something? So you're telling me that it's like brain rot? I mean, look, guys, there might be some brain rot, but let's be real. I feel like most MMOs are kind of brain rot. No? I feel like MMOs are brain rot, guys. Let's be real here. Keys, but dude, I'm so old, man. I don't know what any of this like Zuma shit is. I don't understand Zuma speak. It's over for me. I'm basically dead. Batchet? Oh, wait. So you're saying So is millennial writing like bat chest? That's what it means? It's like you could use the bat chest emote to describe millennial writing. Okay. Now I think I understand. Ah, yes. Okay. I understand. Now that it's been explained to me in Twitch chat emotes, now I understand. I mean, so you're asking me, will Guild Wars 3 be bat chest? Bro, the answer is yes. Of course. Of course the game is going to be bat chest. Like, Guild Wars 2 is bat chest. I think Guild Wars 1 is bat chest, to be honest. Retail WoW is 100% bat chest. Wait, in Anthem, the main character punches the evil hermit says, "Get glitched." Oh my, yeah, that, oof, I can feel that one. I haven't even heard it, but I know what it sounds like. That's brutal. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Brutal stuff, guys. You hate to see it. You hate to see that. It's engraved in my memory. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's not engraved in mine. That sounds rough. Definitely sounds pretty rough. Well, guys, no, bat chest is not bad. Like, bat chest is not inherently bad, guys. You can enjoy a good bit of bat chest media. So many memorable cutscenes. Bro, dude, paint. But the cutscenes in Guild Wars 1, they're memorable because they're so scuffed. And by the way, I don't mean that in an insulting way, by the way. I actually think there's so much charm in older games being like a little bit wonky and off the wall. You know what I mean? It's like older games were scuffed, but you could see the dev had like put their heart and soul into it, right? It was absolutely weird, bizarre, and like maybe doesn't even work properly. But you know, these older games have got some soul. You know what I mean? They got some texture to them. Yeah, exactly. Oozing with creativity and jank. I think those were always my favorite moments in games. Like, I think my favorite moments in games, and you do get this in modern games, by the way. I'd have to think about specific examples, but I get this feeling when I play modern games like modern WoW and modern Guild Wars 2 as well, where something's just like a little bit wacky and goofy, and you go, you know what? I bet the dev had fun making that. And I think that's like, I can kind of, in that moment, I can connect with the dev's passion, and I think that's such a powerful experience. I think, you know what I mean? It's I think a good example would be like the heist. I really liked the heist, you know, collection. I guess I actually haven't done it on this account. I did it on Zero Hero, of course. Like, and it's kind of a little bit scuffed, a little bit goofy, a little bit off the wall, but it's so good because you know that the dev was having fun making that. You know what I mean? And you kind of have that moment where you're almost alongside the dev, right? You're kind of experiencing like what they were thinking when they were making it. It's so fun. I love that stuff. It's just a little bit weird, a little bit wacky, and yeah, a little bit scuffed. The dev had fun making that. 100%. Yeah. Oh man, it's funny. Millennial characters. Wait, Shrek? Oh yeah, didn't they drop the trailer for Shrek 5? It looked kind of weird, to be honest, or like the teaser. I'm not sure I like the art style, to be honest. I guess they had to, I mean, did they have to make it better? I don't know. Maybe you can't get away with like not like graphically upgrading it. I'm not sure how that works, but I don't know. I kind of like the original Shrek character. Anyway, I am no longer derailing. You know what I've got to bring up here, guys, at the start of the YouTube video? I've got to bring up the fact it's 2 a.m. That is the dedication I have to reading Guild Wars 2 blog posts to you. And goodness me, what news we have. We've got a bunch of quality of life stuff. And more importantly, look at these Twitch drops you guys can farm next week. Tradesman's Package, Bloodstone Ascender thingy, Bloodstone Rock, Bloodstone Glider. I mean, guys, come on. You got to watch the stream. You got to watch all of my streams, okay? Make multiple accounts. Just like, keep watching more drops, guys. Let's go. No bag slot. Unlucky. They're saving that one for expansions. What can I tell you? But you can get some Bloodstone-themed skins, gliders and stuff, and a rock, a little pet rock. Very good stuff. So I'm afraid YouTube, you're going to have to venture over to Twitch if you want to feast on those. So get over here and bring your Twitch Prime while you're at it. Anyway, though, on to the actual news. We have got big convenience coming through, and kind of the big stuff is at the start, in my opinion. We know they talk a little bit about the homestead decoration improvement. We already knew about that, though, so let's talk about the stuff we don't know about. We have got basically portal books and gobblers, pretty much. So what does this mean? It means that instead of having to carry around portal tomes for Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Iceberg Saga, whatever, okay, Wizard's Tower, all of that is now getting compressed into one. That is big. If I open my character right now and I look, enjoy that inventory. Yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy that. You know what's really funny? I'm derailing here. I get constant comments. I've got a YouTube short that is me showing my inventory, basically, and it like mentally destroys people. I get constant comments on it, like every day. People like begging for mercy, saying like, I can't even watch, I can't handle it. Yeah, drink it in, guys. Look at this Aether Key piece. Enjoy that. Anyway, back to the content. You'll see here, I've got the Portal Tome for Season 4. We got Arborstone. We got Icebrood Saga. We got Season 3. We got the Wizard's Tower. All of that is going into one, which actually feels really good, in my opinion. That is a massive win, okay, for my shared inventory slots. And also the same thing for the Gobbler as well, because I actually don't use these. These are actually surprisingly good to use, by the way. They give you a bit of free cash. They, like, feast on, you know, all your ascended materials a lot of the time. And you can, like, you know, do that. But one of the reasons why I actually don't bother with them is because I don't really have space in my shared inventory slots to actually use them, right? So they're on one card. I don't even know where they are, like sitting around all random characters I've got them. So I don't use them. So honestly, that's going to be really good because you are, of course, limited on how many inventory slots you can have. So compressing that all down actually makes like stuff like this a lot more usable. And, you know, I mean, am I going to use that? I might be a little bit too lazy, but listen, you might be less lazy than me and you might do it. Either way, definitely pretty convenient. The way it's described here is that it does look like it's going to be a dialogue-based system, which I guess is okay. I was kind of hoping they were going to do some custom UI for this when they mentioned it at first, but I think the way it's going to be, right, is that you'll open the tome like this, and then it will list all of the different books, then you'll click again. So in other words, instead of being done, it will be like Season 3, Season 4, right? And then you'll click Season 3, and then it will open up all the Season 3 maps. You're going to click Season 4, it's going to open up all of the Season 4 maps like that. Would have been cool to have some custom UI, but honestly, it's basically 2 clicks to get anywhere. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the universe, is it? I think that's all right. Not too bad. And it's kind of the same with the Gobblers. The Gobbler, I think, will function very similar, right? Instead of having, like, one item, you know, you open this, you get a menu here. It's going to be you click, and you can select which Gobbler you want, and then it will open the little menu for you, and you can do that. So pretty nifty, if you ask me. A little bit of quality of life. Love to see that. Big inventory saving. Very nice. And of course, next, Rift Essence is converted to a warrant. This one is kind of big, man. Okay, because I don't know about you guys, but when I was cooking up some legendaries and, you know, just stuff that requires essence, like the new spear, for example, and, you know, legendaries, whatever. Man, essence is a pain in the ass. And I do a lot of, you know, when I've been playing actively, I do a lot of convergences, and it is so annoying. I think I actually have multiple characters on my account right now, even on the Zero to Hero account even, that are just storing essence, right? That's all they do is store essence, because you get so much of it, and of course, you need a lot of it, right? You need like stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of it, which is super annoying. So turning it into a currency is actually pretty nifty there as well. Kind of love to see that. Nice little upgrade there. Researcher, this is a bit of a pain point for a lot of people, I think. Although, I think it's not it's one of those things that it's not too bad if you know how. Like, researchers, in my opinion, are not that much of a big deal, because what I do is I just craft. I use the, you know, automatically turn into notes feature on crafting. I just make a bunch of helmets. Right, you know, you buy insignias for cheap, you throw that in with some orichalcum, and then bam, you just salvage helmets, and it's pretty damn fast. But, you know, if you can't be able to do that, you just want to click materials, get a recipe, you're going to get 150 research. And what's nice about this is you don't have to have crafting leveled up. Of course, a lot of the methods that I use for research notes that you might have seen on Zero to Hero, they actually, you know, do require a little bit of crafting. But to be honest, you know, that's not hard. I think a lot of people have crafting level to make legendaries. You know, that's one of the things that you're going to need research notes for, of course. But, you know, this is going to be nice. It'll be interesting to see how expensive this is, right? Because, of course, this could potentially influence the value of quite a lot of things, actually. They might actually lean it on the more expensive end for that reason in particular, right? They probably don't want this to be like a convenience thing. And typically in a game like Guild Wars 2, where they want the economy to be stable, you'll typically pay a little bit for convenience, right? Like, you know, if you want things really easy and, you know, just boom, click, get thing, it might be a little bit more on the expensive side compared to some of the other methods for acquiring research notes, especially because the whole point of research notes is to kind of drain a diverse number of materials out of the game. Basically, it's to keep the price of things stable. Although I think maybe an approach they could take here actually is that maybe there's a couple of variants of these that take different materials, or maybe there's like different combination of materials you can like funnel into it. So you know, it will still have kind of like a similar effect, or it might just have like a very broad reaching set of materials that again are essentially draining stuff out of the game. Next up is this one. Oh, look, this this is so funny, actually. Faction provisioners. So instead of having to... Basically, provisioner tokens are, in my opinion, the most hellish currency ever to have existed in this game, because it's the exact type of gameplay that I hate. Basically, you have a bunch of vendors all the way around HOT, And you can talk to each of them. They each want a little item, usually a crafted item, and you can trade that in and get a provisioner token once per day per vendor. And this is required for legendary armor and a bunch of other stuff as well. And this was horrific. I remember doing it, and I found it unbelievably soul crushing. Like, one of the biggest things ArenaNet ever did was made it so that you got provisioner tokens from doing challenge mode content. So I never had to interact with the system ever again. Will I interact with the system now that you can get all, you can get a week of these in one go? No, because one, it's still painful in my opinion, and also it's just painful busy work, and also I don't need provisioner tokens, so I have no reason to do it. But if you need provisioner tokens, this will kind of make planning it a little bit easier. You can do all of your crafts, park characters next to it, log into them once a week, and then boom. Oh, also, back in the day, guys, check this out. Okay, this was hilarious. So I'm pretty sure that all of these vendors are always available now, but back in the day, some of them wouldn't be. They'd be like locked behind event chain completion and stuff like that. So back in my day, guys, it was even worse. To be fair, I think I did end up doing the ones that I didn't bother with the ones that aren't always available. I think I basically just did the ones that are always available, because some of them are. But look, there's a story of the olden days of Guild Wars 2, huh? Showing my age there. So next up is the Commander's Choice Chest improvements. During your adventures, you might have accumulated a surplus of Hero's Choice Chests. So basically what they're doing here, this is round 2, basically, of we're trying to make it easier to spend choice chests in bulk. And they actually did this. They kind of let you talk to a vendor and kind of give up some of the loot, basically, at a bulk exchange vendor. But yeah, you'd still be able to like get them all in one go and just pick them, and then boom, pick whatever piece of loot you wanted and then do it. But you did lose value in the process. Now they're kind of basically going back on that a little bit. They're essentially saying, okay, we're going to let you trade in these Heroes Choices and some karma, and then boom, you'll basically be able to get, you get the whole thing, right? You get the bulk selection, and you get the guaranteed item as well. So basically you're trading karma for the ability to buy stuff in bulk, which is pretty nice. Personally, I've never really got a lot of use out of this. I do typically open Heroes Choice chests when I get them, but apparently a lot of people hoard them. So I think this is going to be really nice, because if you've got a lot of Heroes Choice chests, you're going to have a lot of karma. Oh, I've gone to Dragonfall, guys. Goodness me. What an adventure we're going on. But I mean, how much karma have I got? 79 million? It's kind of a lot, so I probably wouldn't run out of that. And yeah, it's going to work just like the Jan 3 Renown chest. So basically, you're going to open this Commander's Choice chest, basically, and it's going to give you like a list of stuff, and you can just like click on it. You'll be able to buy them in bulk, which is actually pretty nifty. And of course, we talked about this in the last video, but we have the Homestead Decoration limit increase. I think this is pretty good. To be honest, I'm actually not sure if this is necessarily even going to be enough, by the way. 2,000 sounds like a big number, but I actually have spoken to some kind of homestead aficionados, and they say that they find 1,000 to be extremely limiting in the current state, and that, you know, they find it difficult to actually kind of decorate like exactly how they'd want it, like across all of this space. You know, and build the house of their dreams. So I think 2,000 would help, but I'm actually I'll be very interested if they actually end up increasing that over time as well, and also, you know, additional iteration improvements to homesteads. Just in general is the deal. And yeah, you've got some new home instance nodes, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, honestly, this is pretty good. Like, I think inventory space is one of the really big pain points, I think. There's a reason why people are pretty excited about these changes, and it's because I think a lot of people's inventories look like mine. I think mine is probably on the worse end, but, you know, there's a reason why people are hyped about this, and it does make, actually, in particular, if you are a proud owner of a bunch of shared inventory slots, it definitely helps out with that and kind of makes these a little bit more valuable, a little bit more efficient in that regard. But yeah, that's some quality of life stuff. So a little bit of a quick news video here today, guys. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know how excited you are to farm Twitch drops, guys, because let me tell you, I'm excited to farm you guys. Oh yeah. So stay tuned for that. Of course, I will be streaming like an absolute degenerate. I think that goes without saying. Going to be blasting those Convergent CMs. The new meta event as well, guys. Hopefully we're getting another Dragon's End. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you guys ready for Dragon's End round 2? Let's fracture and break the community in half. Okay, we didn't do 1,000 Dragon's Ends, but maybe we're going to do 1,000 Bavanisoses. Oh, speaking of which, I will actually be attempting, unironically, a special event soon. Okay, and actually, listen, all of you watching this, I'm gonna need you to get ready to commit. Okay, I am gonna ask something of you guys that I know I'm asking a lot, but at some point in the future, maybe even during, I might try and do this during Drops Week on the weekend. I want to see if we can get over 1,000 people doing Dragon's End at the same time across EU and NA. That would be basically a total. It's about 60 players per map, so that will be 17 maps of Dragon's End running at the same time. Okay, there's some context here. I said I would, a long time ago, we were planning an event that unfortunately didn't ever really come through. That was going to be, we want to try and do literally 1,000 Dragon's Ends within 1 week. That didn't happen. Okay, we've changed it up a little bit. We've gone in a different direction, but it will still be exciting. So stay tuned for that. We might try and do that on the weekend with all the drops and just go absolutely berserk and get loads of people doing the legendary C1 event. Or, honestly, if this new event is fire, we could try and do it in this one as well. We could even go for the double. We could do like 1,000 people doing a Dragon's End at the same time, and then directly into even more people doing Bavanis at the same time. But of course, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, okay? We need to see how good this meta event actually is before we get there. But yeah, basically, I'm going to be streaming like a total degenerate. Follow the stream, okay? Buy Guild Wars 2 using my referral link. Get ready to peel your eyeballs open to watch the stream for 6 hours to funnel yourself. The Bloodstone Rock, man, I'm telling you. You want to get that. Get that Bloodstone Rock for sure. Look at that little guy. But anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, I will see you there for the launch of Absolution on June 3rd at normal Guild Wars 2 patch time. Okay? And you know what? I'm not going to tell you guys when the patch drops. Because seriously, Guild Wars 2 has released patches at the same bloody time for 10 years. And people always go, oh, when's the patch, guys? When's the patch dropping? Anyone here know when the patch is dropping? It's the same time every 2 weeks for the last 10 years. How can we not know that? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't want to derail and inflate the YouTube video any more than it needs to be. This is going to be one of those memes where it's going to turn out that the video is just barely over 10 minutes for the perfect ad revenue thing. Although, I think that actually doesn't apply anymore, to be honest. It's all about Zoomer Shorts content these days, man. Okay, I should turn this video into like 10 YouTube Shorts. That's how we're getting rich. But anyway, that's going to do it. Shout out to YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, that's going to do it. I'll see you next time. Leave your thoughts below, or don't. It's really up to you, isn't it? That's it. I'm out. And funnily enough, I actually am out. That is all we're doing for today. I'm going to go to bed. And I will come back tomorrow, and it will be fantastic. Oh yeah, tomorrow is probably going to be Guild Wars 1 Nightfall. By the way, the plan coming up now, guys, is I'm going to be doing Guild Wars 1 Nightfall is going to start tomorrow. Maybe we'll try and do the deep over. We are going to do the deep at some point. We're going to try and do the deep, and I think the plan actually is I'm going to be streaming WoW like a total fucking degenerate over the weekend, guys. We've got a lot of grinding to do, getting my ults ready. And getting some of my characters ready and just practicing in general. So it might be a double day of absolute grinding degeneracy on Saturday and Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And for those who are interested in WoW, actually, I am going to be... We've made some pretty good progress on rebuilding the WoW roster. I might not stream WoW raids next week, but I am going to be going back to streaming WoW raids the week after next. So not the next week, but the week after. So basically after the drops week for Guild Wars 2. The reason for that is very, very simple. It's because we're going to be going back up to doing all 8 of the bosses. We'll actually be attempting to re-clear the raid bosses for the first time. And I'm probably also going to start playing high-level Mythic Plus as well at that stage. And then doing some serious grinding, actually, over the summer. So yeah, that is the deal. Guild Wars 1 is still a thing. I mean, yeah, it's... Yeah, we've been... I don't know if you've seen this, but yeah, we've been playing hardcore, right? We've been playing, like, Deathless, right? Over the last couple of months. It's actually really fun. I do like Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 1 is fun. But yeah. That is about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, I'm going to piss off. GG, lads. Take...